Families. That's SIU Center for Family Medicine in Lincoln.
If you're looking for the latest in local hunting and fishing information, then join us for Central Illinois Outdoors with me, Jared White, Saturday morning at 7, Sunday morning at 8 on all WHOW platforms. Every weekend, we'll offer detailed Central Illinois fishing reports, and I'll invite you to share your favorite stories as well. Central Illinois Outdoors with me, Jared White, every weekend here on WHOW and on demand at CentralIllinoisOutdoors.com. Brought to you by Bob Ridings in Pana, the Clinton, Illinois Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau, and Locked and Loaded in Pana.
Let's swing open the farm gate together every day on WHOW. I'm Stu Ellis, your host of the long-running agriculture feature called The Farm Gate. I bring the latest news and information on where agriculture is and where it's going to WHOW Ag listeners several times a day. From tariffs to treaties, from the Board of Trade to the running board on your truck, I cover Central Illinois agriculture every day on The Farm Gate. Hear it all on WHOW's many platforms, on the radio or online. Join me, Stu Ellis, for The Farm Gate.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. We've got a crowd in the studio this morning. We've got the gentleman from the Kenney Fire Department, Troy Lashbrook, Casey, you're going to have Collins. Coles, Casey Coles, and Fritz Robinson with the Kenney Fire Department, and they're going to introduce us to Dani Kraft this morning with Impact Life, part of their Good Friday blood drive, I should say. Before we get to that, though, I know we want to talk about a fundraiser. Fritz, Daytona 500 was last Sunday. Hugely successful event. Tell us about that.
You know, they've done it for several years, the Eagles organization. What a great group of people. They work with Clinton, Kenney, and Wapella to do a fundraiser. Very supportive. A week and one day ago, we went in there and worked. They had a phenomenal crowd, phenomenal support. It's just hard to thank them enough for what they do. And I know the other departments feel the same way we do about what they do for us. And they work their tails off. We try to go in and help as much as we can. And then the community support is just phenomenal. The people that support these fire departments, yes, we run on budgets and levies because I'm a trustee also, along with being a firefighter, wear two hats. But, you know, tax dollars are tax dollars. They're, you know, you hate to increase it. You hate to do all that with everything going down. But this really helps and gives the fire department some additional monies to work with equipment and training and PPE and everything that we go through. And like I say, the support, you know, they raised a record amount. They booked $55,000 for us on that day,
man.
And we just thank them to no end. It's just amazing what they do for us.
Sure. And I know, Troy, I want to say thank you because you got me connected to several fire personnel within Kenney and Wapella, and Clinton as well. And I appreciate you doing that for me. But in talking with those folks about the event last year, banner year, I don't think was all that surprising given, you know, first year back from COVID, you know, everybody was excited about it, probably missed it. What do you attribute the banner year to this year?
It was kind of a retooling year. We had to kind of rethink how we did some things. A lot of things were the same, but we did add this year a reverse raffle that went over really well. I can't compliment the members of the committee enough about how well they all worked together, the thought processes that went in. And again, the girls from the Eagles, Deanna Long, Diane Ferguson, I can't even imagine the hours that they had in beyond what we've seen them. And to go from what we thought was an unbeatable number last year, 42,000, and hit 55 this year in one day, it's just amazing.
Casey, did you get to attend? Anything you want to chime in on with that? Go ahead and swing that mic over there for you.
I got to be part of it. I was part of the committee with Troy
and
the chiefs from different departments and everything. Just everybody jumped together this year and worked really hard. Support of the Eagles, just them going out of the way they do to give us the venue we have to. have the opportunity to make something like this happen.
Sure,
With the
yeah.
support and everything.
Well, I know Deanna's kept in touch with me about, the banner year and all those things. So I'll look forward to the presentation when they hand over that cash to you all. That's going to be a lot of fun, and to see that happen for sure. And as I mentioned at the top, guys, by the way, Fritz, Troy, anything on the fundraiser we didn't touch on you guys want to put out there before we dive into the Good Friday blood drive?
I think we've got that pretty well covered. Let's get into the blood drive.
Let's get into the blood drive. Troy, when is the blood drive?
Excuse me.
If you don't choke first. Swing that mic over to him, Casey. Thanks.
It's April 7th this year, Good Friday, as we have set it up to do every year. New hours. We've actually added an hour. It's from 11:30 to 6:30 this year. Trying to accommodate some later people. Come on out and help support us.
Sure. When can folks start getting appointments made?
Anytime right now. We've actually started some appointments, but the big news is we have a new company that we are using. It's called Impact Life. The blood that is donated stays more local. Eventually, you will see on our Facebook page an event invite. You can, it's not up yet, but it will be. You can go there. There'll be a QR code or a direct link to the website. You'll start seeing our banners and flyers all over town. They will have the QR codes on it. Or you can contact Fritz at 217-620-5407, KC at 217-416-1599, or myself at area code 563-321-0416.
Sure. Now, we've got Dani Kraft with Impact Life here with us. Dani, take that mic from Fritz there. Tell us about Impact Life. What's your organization? What's it all about?
Sure. Well, thank you very much. First of all, we're really honored to be a part of this wonderful blood drive, one of the most successful blood drives throughout the state of Illinois, and we're honored that they've chosen to work with us. Impact Life has been around since 1974. We are a local regional blood center. We are in 4 states, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Missouri. And when you donate blood with us, you are supplying local hospitals. We are the supplier of all the local hospitals. So I always say when you give local or donate local, you stay local. You're saving local lives and employing local people. And that's one of the nice connections that we have. Impact Life does one thing, and we do blood, and that's it. And one thing my daddy always told me, if you only do one thing, you better do it well.
Yep.
And so that's what we really focus on. We focus on blood research. We focus on donors and making sure donors have wonderful experiences when they donate. And then we focus on those account relationships, like our relationship with the Kenney Fire Department.
Now, how do you make sure that blood stays local? I mean, you're all over the Midwest, so how do you make sure it stays close to DeWitt County?
Sure. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand is hospitals get to choose where their blood supply comes from, just like they choose where they get their linens from, or where they purchase their beds from, or their pharmaceuticals from. They also choose where they get their blood supplies from. And I'm very proud of the fact that the hospitals throughout Illinois have chosen Impact Life as their blood supplier. So we supply every single hospital in Peoria, every single hospital in Springfield, Champaign, Decatur, and then all those small hospitals in between. We're also the blood supplier. A lot of people aren't familiar with the fact that we're the blood supplier for OSF hospital systems. We're the blood supplier for Carl Foundation Hospital, for the Memorial Medical Hospital systems, HSHS hospital systems. A lot of people don't understand that hospitals do make that choice, and they have chosen Impact Life as that exclusive blood supplier. And we're very proud of that fact, but we are also very diligent about taking care of and being very good stewards of that blood supply, and working with wonderful accounts like Kenney Fire Department is a part of that whole life cycle of blood.
Sure. Again, our guests in studio today with the Kenney Fire Department, Troy Lashbrook, Casey Coles, and Fritz Robinson, and Dani Kraft with Impact Life. Our guests talking about the Good Friday blood drive at the Kenney Fire Department. That's April 7th. And Dani or Troy, feel free to chime in on how this partnership came to be, if you don't mind me asking.
Well, I'm going to pass the buck. Fritz?
Oh, I think I just got thrown under the bus. We were working with a different organization, and we realized that we could do more local. And when we came across that idea, Casey and Troy and I discussed it and met with the individuals from Impact Life and had a very favorable response. And besides that, Dani brought cinnamon rolls.
I wondered if you were going to tell the truth.
It was the cinnamon rolls that really did it, right?
The way to Kenney Fire is through our stomach. Not through
There
our
you go.
heart.
There you
And,
go.
We were just very impressed talking with them and what they had to offer. So
What stood out about what they had to offer?
the fact that it's local, the fact that they were very open to our suggestions. They listened to what we had to say and kind of what we at Kenney Fire requested. We're kind of noted for being that way.
You're needy, basically.
Yeah, we are definitely needy.
High maintenance. There you go. That's right. Yeah.
My phone will go off at like 9:30.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Quarter till 10, and I'll be, oh, it's Troy. What do you need?
Yeah.
Troy?
What do you need, Troy? Well, Dani, tell us a little bit about is the blood drive going to look vastly different from years past? What does this process look like?
One of the things that we're doing is we're flipping rooms because the flow worked better for the gentlemen. So that's something that we're hoping will help donors. One of the things that has happened in years past is there's been a little bit of a backlog and a little bit of a wait. So one of our major discussion points is, okay, when I come in, I'm like, I want to know what went right in the past, but more importantly, I want to know what went wrong so that I can help you change that. So we worked on the flow, but the other thing is, why have you always stuck to just this time frame? Can we extend that time frame? Can we start a little earlier and go a little longer? And that's one of the things we changed right off the bat is they were like, well, we never even thought about that. And I'm like, well, let's try it this year.
Yeah.
So
you do have people that still work on Good Friday in
Right,
some
right.
sectors. So yeah.
So anything we can do to try differently. The QR code is something that's new that they'd never done before with registration. And I said, everyone has a cell phone anymore, and QR codes are something that are used all the time.
Yeah.
And the live link of registration on Facebook is something that wasn't offered in the past. And so just little nuances that we're hoping will just help be a little more convenient and help the flow of the blood drive, because this is an amazing blood drive. And every time you donate, you save 3 lives. So this blood drive saves over 300 lives in one day. And so we're just honored. Like I keep saying the word honored, but we are honored to be a part of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, we do need to take a time out here, guys, and we've got a severe weather alert to get to before we take a look at the markets. Troy, again, how do folks get signed up and start that registration process for that April 7th blood drive in Kenney?
Well, right now, you can contact Fritz at 217-620-5407, KC at 217-416-1599, or myself at 563-321-0416. Eventually, you will see the live link on our Kenney Fire Facebook page.
And that actually will be available to you today.
Awesome. And then you'll start seeing the flyers being hung around local businesses that will have the QR code right on it. Always look at the digital signs throughout the community. We usually, most of the vendors are happy to advertise for us on those.
All right, easy enough. Well, let's take a time out here, guys. Again, our guests in studio today with the Kenney Fire Department, Troy Lashbrook, Casey Coles, Fritz Robinson, and Dani Kraft with Impact Life, our guests in studio. More to come with them on the morning show on WHOW.
WHOW.
I'm weatherology meteorologist Derek Height with a significant weather update. A tornado warning has been issued until 10:15 a.m. this morning for Champaign County. This is a radar-indicated tornado, meaning Doppler radar has detected rotation with the storm and tornadic development is possible. For your safety, the best course of action is to quickly get to the lowest level of a sturdy structure. Typically, this would be a basement, If you don't have a basement, get to the lowest level of your home in a small interior room such as a closet or a bathroom. Again, a tornado warning continues until 10:15 a.m. this morning for Champaign County. This is a radar-indicated tornado, meaning Doppler radar has detected rotation with the storm and tornadic development is possible. Remember, this storm also has the potential for pea-size hail. Stay tuned for additional updates. I'm meteorologist Derek Height.
Illinois Ag Better. Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all trading lower. March corn 646 3/4, down 3 1/4. May corn down 4, 645 1/4. July corn 635, down 3 3/4. March beans 1524 1/2, down 4 1/2. May beans down 4 1/2, 1514 3/4. July beans 1502 1/2. Down 6. March Chicago wheat $7 even, down 8 1/4. May wheat down 8, 713 3/4. July wheat 721 1/2, down 7 3/4. May bean meal 479.50, down 50 cents. May bean oil unchanged 61.22. Livestock market, March feeders 188.87, down 20 cents. February live cattle 165 even, down 20 cents. April lean hogs 84.70, down 132. Energy market, April crude oil down 56 cents, 75.76. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4Ls with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Hey everybody, I'm Buddy Wilson, your new country financial agent in Clinton. Let me help you protect what's important to you at a price you can afford. You can do this by clicking on my icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
For the latest in Central Illinois agricultural news, visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com. Get updated information on markets, weather, ag news, local interviews with NAFB farm broadcaster Jared White, and much, much more. All at IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. Again, my guests in studio this morning from the Kenney Fire Department, we've got Troy Lashbrook, Casey Coles, Fritz Robinson, and from Impact Life, Dani Kraft, talking about the Good Friday annual blood drive at the Kenney Fire Department. I don't think we mentioned it was at the Kenney Fire Department, so that's where the location is. And from Troy, 11:30 to 6:30, correct?
That is correct.
Tell us again how folks get the registration started, which I believe goes live today. So
Yes, there'll be a live link on their Facebook page. Also, the posters will have QR codes. And of course, these gentlemen love to have their phone ringing off the wall. So you can call them also.
All right, very good. So Troy, I'll have you put those numbers out there when we're done. But I know, KC, we've talked about this kind of year in and year out. This is a very successful blood drive. What are some of the statistics around not only your blood drive, benefits of giving blood? How about some of those things?
Well, every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs blood. Every day, roughly 36,000 units of red blood cells are needed in the U.S. I mean, that's an astronomical number. And less than 3% of eligible donors actually donate blood. So I'd love to see that number get way up. A single car accident victim can require up to 100 pints of blood. And that's an aspect that drew me to Impact Life, is since their labs are local, you can actually, if a hospital gets a major trauma, they can actually get a blood supply to them very quickly to help them out with a trauma patient. So I was like, the other benefits you can get, I mean, you can actually, it's a mini physical when you go in. It doesn't replace going to the doctor by any means, but it's a way of finding underlying health issues possibly, because you're going to get your blood pressure checked, you're going to get your pulse checked, body temperature, hemoglobin, things like that. And it can actually clue you into some problems you may not know you have going on.
Right.
An occasional checkup of blood quality could be the key to spotting health issues. I'm sorry. And then the aspects, it can actually help with cancer. It can reduce your chances of getting cancer. It reduces heart disease. It improves your liver function, lowering iron, things like that can actually help your body operate and work better. And then, you get into the actual aspects of the psychological part of it. by being the donor themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Donating blood is the most powerful health benefit is arguably the psychological realm. Donating blood means that someone or multiple people somewhere will be getting the help they desperately need.
Mm-hmm.
Getting out of your usual environment to do something good for someone else is stimulating.
Mm-hmm.
And the best kind, volunteering has always shown to be a positive effect of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's small town people helping small town, like we've discussed in the past. It's in middle-aged men donating blood can actually lower your risk of heart attack by 88%.
Wow.
I mean, these numbers are astronomical.
Mm-hmm.
It's all out there. There's studies under Mayo Clinic and different,
Mm-hmm.
well-known facilities. And it's just like the thing I like going back to is the small town people helping small town people.
Mm-hmm.
And by going with Impact Life this year, I think we're going to have a better benefit of doing that
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to stay more local,
Mhm.
even if it is just to the Midwest, because they are in 4 states, I believe,
Mhm.
but it's all in the Midwest. We're still helping people in this area.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Go ahead, Dani.
Well, one of the interesting things that Casey was talking about when he said only 3% of people donate blood, actually 62% of the people across the America are eligible to donate blood.
Mm-hmm.
And of that 62%, only 3% do.
So it's
that's-
actually even less of the population.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
it's
less of the
really
population.
devastating that only
Mhm.
3% of the people do donate blood, because the fact is there is never going to be any sort of substitute for human blood.
Mhm.
If anybody gets like a severe infection, the doctor has a plethora of options to make that person well.
Mhm.
But if you or I ever need blood to save our lives, the doctor has one option and one option only.
I'm weatherology
Sure.
And that's the
meteorologist Derek
generosity of
Height
another
with a
human being
significant
donating
weather
blood.
update.
Sure.
It is
A
not
tornado warning
substitute for
continues
human blood,
until
and there
10:15
never will
a.m.
be.
this morning
So we
for
are
Champaign
depending on,
County.
right
This
now,
is a
only
radar
3% of the
tornado
human population
Yeah.
helping us save lives.
Guys, I need to take a pause here for a weather alert. We'll rejoin and finish up the conversation in just a moment.
I'm meteorologist Derek Height.
Dani, I wanted to get to you real fast, the process of giving blood. Tell us just real quickly about that, what that's going to look like when someone comes in. Can they like I know in the past you could like check off all your health conditions and those sorts of things. Talk about that process a little bit.
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. First of all, the whole process takes about 40 minutes. Most of that is spent answering questions and eating cookies.
I'm good at both of those.
The time that the needle's in your arm is about 10 minutes.
Mhm.
So the actual process of the blood draw is about 10 minutes long. We do have what's called early queue,
Mhm.
and I'll be giving the gentleman some cards for that too, where you can scan and do a lot of your questions ahead of time
Mhm.
in order to help eliminate some of the time that's spent during the blood draw.
Okay.
But I think their blood drive is so popular that a lot of people like to stick around
Mhm.
and
Socialize
yes,
and yep.
and I hear there's some additional food in addition to what we bring too.
Hey, there you go. All right. Guys, I hate to do this. I've got less than a minute. Troy, one more time. Throw out how folks get registered for this, when they can start that process. How about that real fast?
Again, watch for the QR codes and the
Mhm.
live link off of our Kenney Facebook fire page. You'll see the posters hanging up in town. You can get a hold of Fritz at 217-620-5407, KC at 217-416-1599, or myself at 563-321-0416.
Mhm.
And this just in, you come donate. They are offering and giving out as a donor perk an Impact Life 20-can cooler tote.
All right.
and
There you
gift
go.
card.
Very good. I got to let you guys go. Thanks for doing this with us this morning, gentlemen. It was good to see you. Dani, good to meet you as well. Thanks again. And again, our guests in studio with the Kenney Fire Department and Dani Kraft with Impact Life on WHOW.
FM W222 BG Clinton 106.5 FM.